In the shadow of history's greatest empire lies a story of power, ambition, glory and ruin. Today we'll take you back in time, but not just in your imagination. With the power of AI, we'll reawaken the world of ancient Rome, a civilization that reached unimaginable heights before crumbling into the dust of history. Close your eyes and picture this. Two infants abandoned by a river, a hungry she-wolf, and a prophecy that would shape the destiny of the world. This is the tale of Romulus and Remus, a story woven with myth and magic. But myths have power. They inspire belief, and belief builds nations. Rome wasn't just a city, it was an idea, born in 753 BCE on the banks of the Tiber River. Small villages grew into a bustling town, driven by a vision of something greater. The Roman spirit, resilient, ambitious, relentless, was forged here. But could they have imagined they'd lay the foundation of a civilization that would one day rule the known world? Imagine a society that tried to balance power between its leaders and its people. The Roman Republic was born out of rebellion, casting off kings in 509 BCE to give power to elected officials. It was a daring experiment, one that echoed through history. But beneath the marble columns of the Senate and the debates of noble patricians and common plebeians, cracks were forming. Greed, ambition and betrayal lurked in the shadows. While Rome expanded outward, conquering new lands, the seeds of internal conflict were quietly taking root. Rome's legions were not just soldiers, they were a force of nature. Picture this: disciplined formations of heavily armed men, shields locked in a deadly embrace, marching like an unstoppable machine. They conquered Carthage in the Punic Wars, annihilated their enemies and secured the Mediterranean as Mare Nostrum, our sea. But the glory of conquest had a dark side. As Rome's borders stretched farther, so did the strain on its people. Soldiers became loyal to their generals rather than the Republic, and one man, more ambitious than the rest, would use this to his advantage. Enter Julius Caesar, a man whose name would echo across millennia. He was a hero to some, a villain to others, and a genius to all. Caesar's ambition was unmatched. His military campaigns in Gaul brought him fame and fortune, but his thirst for power would shatter the Republic. In 49 BCE, Caesar crossed the Rubicon, an act of treason that plunged Rome into civil war. Suspense hung heavy in the air as the Senate feared what was to come. When Caesar emerged victorious, he declared himself dictator for life. His assassination in 44 BCE was not just the death of a man, it was the death knell of the Republic. The chaos of Caesar's murder paved the way for Augustus, Rome's first emperor. Augustus was a master of political theatre, presenting himself as a humble servant of the Republic while consolidating absolute power. Under his rule, Rome entered its golden age. Picture the bustling streets of the capital, merchants trading exotic goods, architects constructing grand temples, poets crafting verses that would endure for centuries. This was the Pax Romana, a period of peace and prosperity that defined an era. But history is never static. Even at its peak, the empire was sowing the seeds of its own destruction. The Romans were more than warriors, they were innovators. Their aqueducts carried fresh water across vast distances. Their roads, straight and true, connected the empire like veins of a living organism. Even their entertainment was larger than life. The Colosseum hosted gladiatorial games that thrilled and horrified audiences. Imagine sitting among the roaring crowd, the sun beating down as a gladiator's blade gleams in the arena. Rome knew how to captivate both its citizens and the world. Every empire has a breaking point, and for Rome it came from within. Political corruption eroded trust in leadership. Economic inequality widened the gap between the elite and the masses, and the sheer size of the empire made it increasingly difficult to govern. Barbarian tribes at the borders, once held at bay by Rome's mighty legions, began to grow bolder. The cracks that had once been small and manageable were now threatening to split the empire apart. By the 5th century CE, Rome was a shadow of its former self. Imagine the once mighty Colosseum now standing silent, its stones weathered and worn. The aqueducts, the lifeblood of the city, were dry. And in 410 CE, the unthinkable happened. The Visigoths sacked Rome. It wasn't a single event that ended the empire, but a cascade of failures. Rome didn't fall in a blaze of glory, it crumbled piece by piece, leaving behind only ruins and stories. Even in its fall, Rome never truly disappeared. Its influence is everywhere, in our architecture, our laws, and even our language. Latin gave birth to the Romance languages, and Roman governance inspired modern democracies. Rome's story is one of resilience and reinvention. And now, with the power of AI, we can carry its legacy forward, ensuring that its rise and fall continue to inspire awe and wonder for generations to come. So, what can we learn from Rome? That no empire is invincible, that ambition, unchecked, can lead to ruin, or perhaps that even in destruction, greatness leaves a mark. What do you think? Share your thoughts and let's keep the story alive.